And imagine the amount of conflicts learning how to do this can eliminate.
And that's a big piece of why I love this so much. This is exactly what to say is Phil's passion. It's his purpose. And if you think I get animated, you should, well, you have seen
I
him.
have seen
He's
him.
like
He is like something.
on fire. But when you think about it, for him, the reason that the exactly what to say real estate guides exist is to be the front face of this brand for him and spread the word and change conversations and change lives. I can't tell you how many personal conversations I have had that have been completely different. One of the things is, my husband has acute neurological Lyme disease and he has permanent disabilities, including cognitive issues. There are times when he is tired or he is experiencing more pain than usual that he doesn't have a filter and he can get pretty mean. He doesn't mean to. Before this, I would just get quiet, kind of let him go, and kind of figure out, okay, how do I make him feel better? I don't know what to do. Now, when it happens, and it doesn't happen as often because I've already changed our conversations, when it does, and he's firing off, and he doesn't mean it, but it's hard not to take it personally because he can get,
Sure.
Pretty mean.
Sure.
Now I have pause. Pauses are important. And say, okay, I can understand. What would have to happen for you to feel better about this? And he stops and he thinks, because that question will make you stop and think. He does come up with an answer. I can see him calming down. He comes up with an answer. And then I ask, how can I support you on that? That's all I have to do. I understand what would have to happen for you to feel better about this, and how can I support you? So think about, especially when you're talking to kids, because when they react, or someone who's a senior, especially those that are struggling with whatever it is they're struggling with, and they react, they're not thinking logically.
No.
And they
They're
can't.
thinking,
And
they're
it's
thinking
not
in the
their
moment.
fault. They just
Yeah.
can't. But if you say, hey, I understand, what would have to happen for you to feel better about this? And let them tell you.
Yeah.
And
I
how
see
can
this working with people, like you said, with cognitive and brain changes, right? There's a lot of different forms of cognitive situations. Your husband, it's came from Lyme disease. Other people have Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia or,
Right.
Traumatic brain injuries and things like that cause their brain not to function in the way maybe it used to, right? And I've seen people, especially dealing with dementia, and not understanding why people, like, why is mom reacting this way, and why is she gets so upset and she gets combative and all of that, and maybe just asking that question, it just calms the situation.
And
And
that's
like you
exactly
said,
it.
it causes the brain to go look for the answer instead of just firing off random thoughts and out of frustration and whatever
Right.
that word is, right?
Right. And when you think about all of the conversations we've had in our lifetime with kids and spouses and other family members, sometimes colleagues, think of a buyer or seller who's upset about something. They're upset. They're reacting. They're not thinking logically. They can't. Your brain doesn't work that way.
Flooded with emotion.
But right. And so when you say things like, and one of the things that I think is really brilliant, well, the biggest thing that's really brilliant is that all of this has been proven by neuroscience, and Phil has had neuroscientists look at all this. But if you say, don't worry, people's blood pressure literally comes down. So if you think about someone that's upset about something, don't worry. Most people would feel the same way. Their blood pressure starts to come down. They're not feeling isolated because you just said they're like most people. And then ask them, I understand. What would need to happen? And you don't say who, or you don't say, what would need to happen for you to feel better about this? That's it. Just
Yeah.
a simple question like that completely changes everything. And I think of all the conversations that I've now had with that and how it changes things. And I wish I would have known this sooner. Obviously, we all do. It's like, man, if I'd have known this when I was like 20,